Lovely. Hello, and welcome to our next session of Gendermaker. This is a stream of the Pathfinder Keymaker module. This is a charity game with all donations going towards gendered intelligence. We're a charity in the UK to help out trans and gender diverse children and offer support to them and guardians. So, joining me in this illustrious adventure are Johnny, James, Lucy, and Stuart, and me, Alex, the GM. So, in our previous session, the party engaged in a bit of diplomacy and what I like to refer to as advanced diplomacy. Crossing over west on their exploration across the mostly unmapped Nile marches. We first came across a group of gnomes who were exploring the area to discover links between this region and the first world of the Fae. You rescued the cart, and the very crotchety leader, Jubilus Narthropal, agreed to stay in Shrikewall for a time and draw some fancy maps of the area for you. While offering some pointed criticism of things as they stand in the kingdom. You then cross over to the grove of one of the Fae that you know about, Naressa the Nymph, who was having a bit of an incident with a group of loggers in the area. Thankfully, you managed to talk them down and make an arrangement before anyone got hurt. So Narissa, the nymph was able to. Meliance is the name of the Nixie. I'm thinking of someone else. But you were able to get the process of regrowing started, and then finally you crossed over to an area that a couple who were currently living in the capital had noted out as a potential settlement area that was protected by a small family of tattleworms. So after a scuffle and a brief bit of poisoning, you're able to take them down, secure the area, and then one of the nice things about clearing out a den of voracious predators is other predators tend to circle over the area, so you're safe to set up camp and rest. So as I mentioned in the chat before the session, you found the equipment of a long dead explorer inside the den, which contained that explorer's equipment, as well as a partially completed map of the northwestern edge of the green belt. There are a few monuments marked on there, which I've already put on the map for you. It looks like they started up at the top, were working their way down, ran into tattleworms, and sadly were not a gigantic draconic barbarian, so came up on the wrong side of them. So you're able to rest for the night and recuperate, and as dawn breaks over this area. Yes, Mara.
Am I able to harvest any poison from the tassel-worm? You said you'd get back to me.
Didn't I? Let's have a quick check. So we'll start off with a knowledge nature check.
Sorry, I desire poison. I proceed to roll pants, so probably not.
So you deduce from what you've seen of it that this was poisonous gas rather than a poison or a venom. This doesn't mean that you can't harvest anything from it. It's just that you have to be extraordinarily careful, both because it's very easy to render poisonous gas inert. If you're not careful, there's a very careful balance of things involved. If you give me a craft alchemy check, I'll be able to see if you're able to harvest the organ that creates the poison without causing it to leak.
I'm going to advise everyone else to stand clear just in case. 21.
Okay, that's enough to separate out this weird-looking gas bladder and seal it off. You think you're probably not going to be able to assemble anything in the field, but if you had time and a laboratory setup of some kind, you might be able to get something out of it.
Woo. I will put that in my bag for later. I'm done interrupting now. Thank you.
No problem at all. So as Marielle's Excelsior, or words to that effect, and pocket something from the larger of their tassel webs, it is now the morning and the day is ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Unless we have anything that's changed our minds, I think we just keep proceeding on and with the route we were taking.
Gore would like to quickly have a look at the map and just sort of have a look at what these two locations are, just in case they are pertinent to what we're doing.
Yep. So this northern area up here is marked as a frog pond. The word frog seems to be in all caps and very large.
Any rolls to know what that means? If that's like euphemistic for something?
Like Gore thinks, it refers to big frogs.
Agreed. Really big frog.
Give me a knowledge nature check, Ariel.
Big brain.
And throwing in inspiration. Boom. 20.
You are aware that frogs can grow pretty big in the right circumstances, and you're not sure, but they're probably referring to giant frogs, which are about the size of a person.
Okay.
They're known to be territorial but not predatory.
Cool. Yes, so that's that. In this area, the map maker's drawn a very rough depiction of Erastil, the stag god whose temple is also marked in the region where you found and took down that giant bear.
Okay. Okay. I will relay that information to the rest of the group. I don't think there's anything there that warrants us to sort of dally off to do it. I think we should just keep pushing westwards to the Booktom.
Okay, where to?
I'm looking towards our leader for leadership.
Poor Jen. Really been shafted here.
We were going to check out her tongue slough, weren't we?
I believe that was a point where there was reports of something in that area, right?
There's a.
Bandits?
You mean this area here? Or we're heading to Hooktongue Slough,
Yeah.
Yes.
but we were going to stop off with and investigate this dryad on the way.
Okay.
I believe was the
So,
original plan.
do that then.
Yeah, let's do that then. I knew we had a plan.
Okie doke. So, heading. Oop, that's the wrong thing. There you go. So, heading southwest. As you're making your way through the marsh, the trees part to reveal a peaceful forest glade dappled with sunlight. A small pond lies placidly at the roots of an enormous oak tree, with a scattering of leaves floating upon its surface. Birdsong twitters from the branches high above.
Pretty. I will not set this bit on fire.
I wouldn't even joke about that, and if this is a potential remove a dryad.
Dare I say it? It's suspiciously quiet here.
You said the Q word.
Jin like visibly cringing into his arm.
Reaches for a bottle.
Okay, give me a perception check as you go in.
Wow, that is literally the worst I could roll.
Note I'm currently not raging, so it is only a 24.
Okay.
Huh! Double figures.
Congratulations, my liege. You did it.
Well spotted, sir.
Oh dear.
So, over by the side of the water, everyone can see a humanoid figure in autumn colours, and as you look over, you realise that autumn is exactly the right word to describe her. She is literally covered in autumn-coloured foliage, and she is kneeling down by the side of the pond, and doesn't appear to have noticed you.
Remind me again, why were we what's the deal with the dryad today? Was she causing problems, or are we just wanting to meet her?
I thought we were just here to say hi.
Yeah, I think it was like let's get a read on this person and see, get a read on this individual and see if they are like on the up and up, and whether or not they're going to be problematic for any attempts to settle in the area. That's what most of this has been, like fact finding, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, do we want to go as a group, or do you want me to approach her on my own so she's not getting threatened by 5 of us, 4 of us, 4 of us? I'm sure there was 5 of us sometimes. Is my sound not coming through here?
How about you and me head over?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't diplomacy. I should probably stay here.
I will ensure that Mara does not set the grove on fire.
Thank you, Yor.
People are no fun.
Extremely fun. Also flammable.
In a very flammable area.
Well, like living wood doesn't burn quite so easily, but yeah.
Let's can the fire talk around the tree first.
Yeah. Then, without any other reason, I want to approach the dryad.
Okay. She looks up at you, and although it's hard to tell, Fae are otherworldly enough that things like facial expressions are hard to read. You can tell she's recently been crying. There's streaks of damp going across both her cheeks. She looks up, and the first word she says sound like rushing leaves. Does anyone speak Sylvan?
Let me check.
No.
No.
Right, that's next on the list.
I don't really speak anything other than common, to be honest. And sign language.
She said something that sounds like wind moving through branches.
Would I be able to attempt linguistics to try and find commonalities with languages that might derive from Sylvan, like Elven or something like that?
Certainly let you try.
Okey-doke. Inspo. Oops.
That's enough to know that that's probably someone's name.
Okay.
She then looks you over Jin and says, "Oh, hello."
Hello. How are you?
She looks down. I wish I could say I was well, but things haven't been going well. Maybe she looks up and her eyes are all black. But maybe you would be able to help us.
Perhaps if you gave me more information on what the situation was.
My name is Teresia, and this is my tree. She points behind her to the very large oak tree. We're being hunted, sir, by a terrible beast that hungers for the Fae.
That is unfortunate. Do you have a description of this creature?
She shudders and then says, "A scythe tree, sir."
Scythe tree.
Um,
Any checks I can make to know if I
yes, it's
know of that?
This would be knowledge nature for this one.
That's a flat ball.
17 total for me.
Jin, you've heard of trees that can become animate. in certain circumstances. Normally, demon corruption is the context you're aware of it in, but you don't think it's that. A scythe tree coral is a type of carnivorous plant that certainly resembles a tree, uses it as camouflage, and then strikes anything that it can catch off guard.
That does sound like a serious threat to these woods in this area. We can be sure to look out for it in our exploration of the area.
We know where it is, sir. We've been trying to deal with it ourselves, but and then she pauses. But I haven't had much luck.
That is a shame. How far away and in what direction would this creature be?
Let's see. Do you have a map, sir? I'd be able to show you.
One of my allies has a map. We can call them forward. We didn't want to approach you as a threat.
If there's more of you, you'd have more chance. Don't think someone on their own would do very well.
Of course. Rather sort of lord like Jin turned around just whistles for Gore and Mara.
Didn't just whistle.
Mara will approach.
Sorry, I thought you were further away.
Immediately level a knife. Probably around femoral artery height. And say, "You ever whistle for me again?"
I thought you were further away. I didn't realize you were right there.
I
You
will gut
whistled.
you.
I thought it was player that just shouting, "Oi, come here."
That would be far more acceptable.
Noted.
I will happily answer to "Oi, you." But whistling is a step too far.
Apparently Gore has found his hill to die on. Here we go.
I beg forgiveness for you, but
You are forgiven.
do we have a map handy?
Yes, one moment, sir. As Gore pulls open the giant bag and starts rummaging through to find a scroll case with various maps at this stage. Here we go. Here we go.
The Tassiel here would like to have point out a creature she's being threatened by.
She points to a heavily forested region just southeast of you and says, "It hunts around here, sir."
What hunts around there? I'm sorry.
Scythe tree.
Tree. It's like so it's an angry tree. Okay.
Carnivorous plant disguises itself in a tree-like form as a camouflage / sort of lure kind of thing.
You can see it by its scar, sir. That's its mouth.
Noted. Thank you. Okay, so slight detour, then we're back on track to Hooked on the Slough. Right.
I mean, I'm always down for the felling of a murderous carnival tree.
If this is something that's going to help get curry a bit of favour with some of the local population, then smart move. Smart move.
Just before we go, quick clarification. You said we've been trying to deal with this. Who's the rest of the we?
Her eyes go wide when you say that. She then looks back at the tree and says, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to mislead you. My consort, Falkos, lives here too. He was badly hurt by the tree. She says that same word again. That sounds like wind going through the branches of a tree. And a satyr drops out down from the branches of the tree that none of you were able to notice before. There are a few like nasty looking, barely healed scars going across his chest from something that cut him quite badly, and he has an arrow nocked in his longbow pointed downwards.
Ouchie. Do you need help?
I'll be fine. I'll heal unless the tree finds this grove first.
Okay, get the tree. Got it.
I've tried to rally the other Fae, but after what happened with Falkos, no one's willing to risk themselves, and the Guardian doesn't hear us.
That is a shame. Guardian? There's a guardian of this forest?
Have you not heard her? The Guardian of this area?
I don't think she speaks to people like us. We're not Fae.
Sometimes I forget. But I do sense a presence around you.
Can I roll to see if I have any recollection of any interaction with something that could have been the Guardian?
Spoopy Water Curse Temple, maybe. The water that was secretly a healing potion.
Potentially.
That's my
Nothing
only.
you've come across, Jin, matches that kind of description.
Okay.
Okay. I wave vaguely at the sky. Like, hi, Guardian person, if you're here.
Gore, you'll know that's the title the nymph introduced herself as. You stole your way in the mists.
Oh.
She referred to herself as Guardian of the Bloom.
At this point, Gore will sort of be like, actually, I think I do know who his guardian is.
Oh.
Remember when I was like magically vanished away for a short time, and then I came back with loads of really useful information.
And your bed was also in the middle of nowhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
that. I think that was the guardian.
Oh,
I think
Okay.
my little Fae friend.
that makes sense. You should probably not refer to the Guardian of the Forest as your little Fae friend.
No, I think that's a fairly accurate description. They are little, they are Fae, and they are my friend.
This can only end poorly.
Okay.
Gore just looks really
She is a nymph. She's very powerful, but she is so sad. We've tried to help her, but we just don't know how.
She was very sad when I talked to her. We did something when we got rid of the Stag Lord. That helped, but there are other things that are hurting the bloom.
Like the scythe tree.
That and what that statue was, or what that statue was linked to. Remember the angry statue in the Kobold Cave?
Yes. Yes, angry statue. The one that they ran off with.
Yes, that.
Okay.
Gore
Cool.
remembers.
So what I'm getting is right now, go kill a tree.
The scythe tree, or specifically scythe tree.
Yes, no, I do know that. I'm being reductive for the purposes of speed and communication.
Okay.
Let go.
Yeah, let's try and get this while it is daylight, and we can see it more easily, hopefully.
Let's. Me and Mara should probably spend a few minutes prepping up anything we need to.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got my my standard array brewed up. Would anybody like anything different than the standard shields? And I don't know how much use does Coriel actually get out of the invisibility?
Got quite a lot last time.
I mean, get visibility then.
I mean, if it gets me potentially, if it allows me to scout out dangers a lot easier, so that we are not walking straight into something's throat, I would much rather that than walking into something's throat.
Cool. I might just do a shield for everyone then. Honestly.
Alex, quick question. Well, how big is it? How big, or how? What's the distance on a hex again? Just out of curiosity.
So a hex represents probably a few hours of travel time overall.
I'd like to sort of sidle over to the Dryad and sit here. There is a person living on the eastern edge of this woods. Are you aware of this old Beldame woman?
Oh yes, of course, I know her.
And what do you know of her? She was very secretive with us.
She grumpy.
Well, I wouldn't want to betray her secrets.
Probably a smart decision.
But she trades with us sometimes.
Mm.
Do you feel she's benevolent to this area or indifferent?
She is, how do I say this? Of the Fae.
Okay.
Don't mess with her.
I'd like to sort of address this here. I have quite some knowledge in mortal healing. Would that be of any help for your wounds?
The satyr looks over at you with a. He tries to puff out his chest, but then winces and says, I don't want to owe you anything before you've done anything for us.
I,
These will heal.
my intention was to not spend any of my divine power helping you at the moment, as I might need it for dealing with this side street, but I can use what limited or what knowledge I have of mundane means to perhaps help you.
You'll have to forgive me if I don't trust mortal hands.
How
I
about
completely understand.
kill tree first, come back after, and we can talk again about the not dying bit.
If you're set on dealing with it,
If it's
arrows are basically worthless against it.
What's worthless against it?
arrows,
Arrows.
is there anything else worthless against it that we should know about?
No, only my sickle seemed to get anything done.
Is your sickle a mundane weapon, or
He draws it out in his other hand. It's a very well made looking sickle, but you don't detect any residual magic of it.
I suspect it's a slashing thing.
is? Sorry, did they already say to me, is this ice tree of the Fae, or did they just say it's a entity?
It's not of the first world now.
One
Yeah.
question. Big important question. I know it looks like a tree. Is it made of wood?
Sort of?
Good enough for me. You see the slightly maniacal gleam come into Mara's eyes again. Let's find out.
Stacia looks you up and down and says, "It'll burn, if that's what you're thinking."
Good.
Just be careful not to take everything with you.
I know.
Okay.
Clean.
Then, if you give us a rough area to look in, we can start there and start with all haste before we lose any more light.
Let go.
Percy says, "I can't leave my grove, and Falkos is too injured, but if you follow the trees through, they'll show you the way."
Very kind of you.
You're
Okay.
what?
Let's go smash a tree.
Things I never thought would be said by one of us today.
How come nobody feels the need to clarify to Gore what tree exactly we're going to smash? Why is that just a me thing?
Because I wait until the tree is pointed out by Jen.
With my perception checks, yeah, sure.
Okay, Gore doesn't have quite the history of collateral damage.
No, my damage is very targeted and focused into one instance at a time.
What collateral damage have I really done?
Hard to find out afterwards, and there's not much left to point out.
There was one library once, and that was ages ago.
It was literally the first day we met you, Mara.
Irrelevant.
I mean, not the first day I met you, but still, like, you guys talk about that, and I just think, ugh. I mean, first impressions matter, Mara.
I know. I'm quite happy with what I said, thanks.
Are you setting forth, adventurers?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, less sass, more getting on with it.
As you're on your way out, Terestio and Falco start speaking to each other again, and it sounds like ambient forest noise. They talk to each other.
They're speaking in ASMR.
Gore's now petrified terrified whether he hears the wind rustling in the forest now. It's some sort of strange fey conversation happening around him that he can't listen to.
Sometimes the trees do speak Treant. That's Sylvan. You find you find the way southeast to be what would be suspiciously easy were it not for the fact that Teresia explicitly said the trees will show you the way. You've been having to cut and push through bits of undergrowth in order to cross through to this point, but it's not quite a road. It's not that simple. But you find that you have an easy time moving through the tree lines here, and following Teresia's directions, you come across a small grove. You are to the right place. Okay,
That
you
one.
should now all be at the bottom.
Isn't that one?
Okay. First things first, before we go anywhere, I'm going to use my Tears to Wine extract to make us a good couple of, let's see, 2 cubic feet's worth of average quality mead.
I do love average quality mead.
And it is the averagest quality of mead.
Solid.
Exactly 50% of mead is better of it, and the other 50% is worse than it.
I dole out an extract of shield to everybody, an invisibility to Coriel, and a bull strength to Gore.
Anybody drinking my special mead which is literally made out of the water running around this grove. You get a +2 enhancement bonus on all intelligence and wisdom-based skill checks for the next 50 minutes.
Cool. I will drink mine.
Wisdom-based skill checks. It's got a hint of swampy tang to it, but it's definitely not your worst mead you've ever made. Solid 5 out of 10. It's good.
I think I got a leaf in mine.
Why does the mead have pulp in it?
It's good for you.
It's pond mead.
Pulpy mead. It's not okay.
Pulpy mead.
As you make your way in, the sickly sweet stench of decay hangs thick in this woodland clearing. Knotted branches of dying trees line the perimeter, creating a thick canopy that blocks most of the sunlight and cloaks the hollow in shadow. Withered vegetation struggles to grow in ragged clumps among the multitude of bones strewn across the forest floor.
All right.
Well,
Gore will drink his potion and step forward.
Yeah.
Hello. Big
Hang on.
angry tree.
Well, I say I am going to chug several things.
I'm drinking things.
Say I'm drinking Anticipate Peril, Heightened Awareness, and Acute Senses.
Practical alcoholism. Chug, 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 chug.
Shot.
I'll have a shield, an alter self, and my mutagen. So
Uh,
Mora now medium-sized and looks rabid.
Go as you walk in, the hairs on the back of your neck start standing up.
I'm
Gore
going,
will kind of reactively sort of draw his great axe. There is something here.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Gore.
Hello, AC.
And can I cast Archon's Aura around myself? Oop, that's wrong button. I give myself the 20-foot radius.
So I'm about to spam everything I've just taken. And for good measure, just so everyone knows, tears to wine.
Thanks.
Away, everyone. Gore's forward.
How long does the invisibility last? Is that's going to be about 6 minutes? Yeah, so
And
Yeah.
Gore will see if he can spot an angry-looking tree with a big scar that might be its mouth.
It'd be a perception check.
A 19. I'm
It-
currently not.
A 20.
These wisdom-based skills, I get +2 to it, so it's a 21.
So your initial look through, you look across, and a lot of these trees have like cuts across the bark, and you're trying to work it out. And then there's one at the northern end of the grove where you look over and you can just see dried blood around the edges of the cut going across its trunk.
Gore will go into a sort of combat stance, yell, "I found it," and then I would like to rage.
Okay, let's.
In fact, initiative may want to happen at this stage.
There it is. Let's reset all this. Bring this up.
Nice. 25 right now.
Could you all roll initiative for me, please?
I'm going to dismiss my heightened awareness to gain the bonus on initiative.
And the good news is we're on an island, so I'm not going to burn the rest of the forest down.
What level am I? Level 6. 12 temporary evidence.
As you call out, Go, the tree to the north that you saw the blood around starts to move and moves very quickly. Its branches, which you can see now that it's moving around, are scythe sharp and whip around, and the scar in its trunk opens, and it barks out. It sounds similar to the tree-like speech that Teresi was doing, but it sounds so much harsher, more feral.
Mm-hmm.
Coriel, you are first to act.
So I'm going to chug my extract of expeditious retreat.
But
And still invisible after chugging the one Mara gave me. Gonna move slowly but surely. Here-ish. Do you want a stealth roll?
Sure.
Plus 20 for being invisible, minus 5 for moving.
Okay.
I will then study. I mean, do I have a decent eye line on the tree there, or am I?
So you have line of sight to it.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah.
it would count as in cover just between the tree cover that's already here, but you are able to see it.
I'm just thinking. As long as I can see it, that's fine. Yeah, swift action. I'm going to make that the target of my studied combat. And that's my turn.
Okay. Mara.
I'm just going to get right down to it. I come up as fast as my stubby little legs will carry me. 5. Let's try that again. 5, 10, 15, 20. And using my infused bombs, I'm just going to launch one right at the tree. Let's start as we mean to carry on.
What's the range of your bombs?
So because I can infuse ammunition, I can turn one of my slingshot pellets into the bomb, which means I've got 50 feet range as per the slingshot.
Cool. Carry on.
There's a reason I took that specific infusion, and that's because my throwing arm is not very far. Oh, God, hang on. There we go. Whee! Oh, for fuck's sake. Just roll garbage, apparently.
welcome to my world.
So unfortunately, with bombs are much heavier forms of ammunition. So your bomb flies forward, but lands without breaking on the ground, a few feet away from the tree.
I would like to sulk and end my turn.
Your sulking is noted by the powers that be. Jin.
Having been told arrows are no use on this thing, I am going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that my aura is a bit better cover. I don't think there's much else I can do at this point in time. That's pretty much me. Arrows won't work in this thing, we've been told, so I'm not going to waste bolts, especially with how good at shooting I am. So just stay here and hope for the best.
Okay, over to go.
Okay, so I will go into a rage. Very exciting. I will then move up to said big angry tree. And then in a move surprising nobody, I will attempt to hit the angry tree.
Good plan.
Thank you. Yep, here we go. 26 to hit for 17 slashing damage. That's only one attack.
That will hit.
So much like last time, Gore's rage is now a lot calmer, and it's significantly less feral. And is again the golden sort of flakes on his skin have reappeared as expected. Gore will also then attempt to bite the tree in a calm, non-savage way. Obviously, a 21 to hit for 8 piercing damage.
Okay. So you're in news that will surprise no one. Hitting a tree with a big axe is quite effective. You cut into its bark, and there's this green, sap-like substance.
I immediately
It
regret
starts to
losing it.
drip out from the wound. You then motion it for a bite. You are able to break through the bark, but there is a lot of resistance on the way through. You definitely hurt it by with that, but there was a lot in the way.
Understood.
Anything else, Gore?
No, that is me.
Okay. It is going to whip both of its branches at Gore.
Very rude.
In a move surprising nobody. So the 24 will hit. I do not believe I have any damage reduction yet, so I'll take 12 points of damage, which just takes off my temporary hit points for raging.
Slash.
Okay.
And it has 3 attacks. Okay. That attack is a 20 to hit.
20. We did a maths now. Because I am raging, that will hit.
For another 13 slashing and piercing damage.
Stupid -2 AC modifier.
Is your -2 AC not countered by my shield of faith on you?
Yeah, so my base AC is not as high as you think it is. My base AC is 18. It then goes to 20 with Shield of Faith, goes to 22 with a Shield Potion, goes back down to 20 again due to the bounty from Raging.
Shield potions +4,
+4. Haha.
I think. Let me just
It
double check.
is. Yeah, it's plus
Yeah,
it's
plus
+4
4.
shield bonus and makes you immune to magic missile.
Oh,
It's-
in which case a third attack misses. Success.
The third branch smashes into a wall of force in front of you.
Called Gore, he has a name.
I am a wall of force.
Or no.
Okay. Just all this going down. So, three, 6. Do I still need a stealth check on that one?
I'm going to say, as you approach, you are immediately aware that this tree knows exactly where you are.
Cool. Do I get the bonus for attacking while invisible?
No.
Nope. Cool. That's fine.
Beats.
I'm gonna give it a good old poke with the rapier.
That will hit.
Sweet. So 12.
Again, trying to stab through its bark. You're able to push it through enough to cause damage, but there's a lot of resistance on the way.
So the thing of it don't use arrows extends to don't use anything pointy. Got it.
I think you need slashing weapon.
I have one move.
Mhm.
One. I mean, I do
Anything
have
else?
slashy weapons, but that is it for my turn. But I will probably, knowing that Gore is probably raging, I'll probably say to him, try and move away, draw it, draw it ahead so I can get around it.
Okay, over to Laura.
Let's try this again from slightly closer up. 10, 15, 20. Yeet.
Give me a yeet roll.
Yeet.
You sling the bomb forwards, and the tree smashes the bottle to one side.
Angry.
Oh no, Mara's raging now.
It did. You can tell immediately it did not like you trying that.
Well, it can deal.
Anything else, Mara?
No. I would like to hurl insults at the tree in every language I speak. None of which are Sylvan.
A series of three perfect parries. Yeah, you're caught off guard a little by just how fast this tree is.
Bad.
Jin.
I am going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, and make sure I'm in touch range of these two. Just in case I need to heal them. I'll extend my aura over the tree. Oop, didn't mean to cast it again, but that's always
It
handy.
doesn't appear to be affected by it.
Boo. Sure. I'll fire a crossbow bolt into it. Every little bit helps, I suppose.
Sure, give me a roll.
Here we go. Situation normal.
It's a case of you look over and you're like, I don't even know where to fire at this thing to hurt it. So you lose the crossbow bolt and it sticks into the tree, and you get that moment of, I don't know what I expected. It's not something you fought before. It's a giant tree. What do you want me to do? The Gorinator.
The Gorinator is conveniently stood next to me at the start of my round, and thus I am
Yep.
going to try. Oh, so hang on, let me just double check something. So if I want a full round attack, I can't use a movement action, correct?
You can 5-foot step.
I can't do a movement action.
No, you can step and then full attack, but a full attack takes up your whole turn.
Yeah, so I can't do that as a move action. All right, cool. In which case, I'm going to full round attack.
Okay, nope.
31 to hit for 17 damage and a 28 to hit for 19 damage.
Quick maths. Yep, you scored 2 powerful hits into it.
Or sort of going like full sort of like he's actually got some like style and form into his axe swings now, so he's able to sort of go for one move and sort of move his axe around him, carrying momentum forwards to go into the second swing. It's now starting to look a bit more sophisticated than just Yeah, cool. That
You
is my
can
turn.
also bite as part of your full attack.
Oh, I can bite as my farmer foot. Oh, I love it when I can do that. God. 26 to hit for 7 piercing damage.
This time you bite into the bark and can't get purchase.
Legit. All right. Hello, angry tree. Fight me.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The tree going to attempt to disengage.
Make like a tree.
It is going to make like a tree and leaf.
Coward. Get back and fight me.
Just have to double check exactly how withdrawing works because it's a different thing in Pathfinder. There you are. Wiggles away faster than you'd expect a tree to, but not that fast.
Is there any reactions that can happen to him trying to run away?
No, because it's withdrawing.
Okay.
Coriel.
Okay. Going to probably end very badly for me. Is this thing looking battered yet, or
Looks very injured. It's a weird word to use when describing a tree, but it looks like it is badly hurt and trying to flee.
Is it this bite?
okay? So I'm gonna run around here with my lickety speed that I've got going at the minute. Do you need acrobatics checks for me to get around it?
I'm gonna say yes.
And I'm going to throw inspo on that.
That is just enough to avoid getting hit. There's a rush of air past your face where one of its branches whips past you.
Cool. Second round of studied combat. That in.
You
with
stab
that,
it.
yeah. I'm guessing that doesn't do much.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't get past the bark.
I'm going to put my studied strike into it. Just see if that gets something. That adds on to the damage from that attack.
That's enough to break through. Break through the bark and do some damage.
Cool.
Yep. It is still moving though.
Cool. Turn, because I'm just trying to keep it engaged, to be honest.
Mara.
Right.
That's charm, they say.
You will burn. 5, 10, 15.
Give me a yeet roll.
20. I make it to the tree line. Wait, shit, no, that's in melee with it. I'll go there.
That's probably too close.
I make it to the tree line. I'm not even loading it into my slingshot this time. I'm just hurling it. I said burn. Good.
Roll the bomb over. It sails over, smashes on the smashes over the one of the cuts that Gore has made into it, and the fire almost seems to dive into the wound and rush through and burn it from the inside out.
Vindication.
It lets out this horrific, creaking, howling noise. It contorts itself, whipping its branches around, and then eventually falls still. And now once more resembles a dead tree.
I vote we chop it up into tiny little pieces just to make sure.
Gore will at this point stop raging and sort of sit on a muddy ground for a few moments to catch his breath.
Need any healing, Gore? Anybody need any healing?
Gore looks like he survived that without a scratch. Sometimes you just need to be too angry to let your blood leave your body.
She just elected not to be hurt.
Exactly. This is what my mother taught me. Sometimes if you just say no, it's fine.
I get it, Gore. You don't have time to bleed.
Just to say no.
Do we need to bring something of this back to prove, or can I make some sort of check on the area to see if, like, getting rid of this tree will improve the area, like some sort of religion check or something? No is a valid answer, so.
Most likely be knowledge nature if you have that trait.
I have 1 point in that. Nope, only gonna get worse from here.
Gore will shout out to Coriel. Do you reckon we could take those razor sharp branch arm scythe things? Do you reckon we can make anything out of them?
Make a
I know, like
Scythe?
farming tools, scythes, swords.
I mean,
Back scratchers.
would I be able to know that from looking at it?
Maybe is your thought. You think a lot of the kind of damaging power of these branches were the fact that it was attached to something very fast. There's a chance you might be able to fashion something out of it, but you think a large part of the danger of this tree was its speed.
I mean, we might be able to fashion something out of it, but nothing that'd be super useful to us. I mean, if you're thinking just things that we could use to supply Shrike Wall and the surrounding areas, then possibly. But most of the danger was the tree itself, not the appendages.
Okay.
Yeah, Jen, you have no idea. This isn't your country. That you're not familiar with the natural world in this sort of sense. You don't know if it would help or hinder.
I reckon we just go back and report to the dryad that we have dealt with this life tree.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably gonna be our best shout.
Go, give me a perception check as you're coming down from your rage.
having a little
2
moment.
more side trees.
There's a 29. Due to the power of mead.
So, in the region underneath where the scythe tree was, you spot the glint of something buried in the ground underneath.
Gore sort of gets up and stretches a bit and walks over to the ground here, goes into his bag of holding, pulls out a shovel and starts unearthing something.
Okay. So you have a dig down, and you realise that there's a collection of goods kind of underneath where the scythe tree was. You fish out 3 pieces of amber that look like they might be valuable, as well as a robe. Let me bring it up.
Fancy robe. I like fancy robe.
It looks like an embroidered robe.
Gore will sort of gesture over and sort of show the goodies that he can stand on the floor. And then we'll start looking at the robe and sort of holding against him and his armor to try and work out if he can wear it on top, like a dressing gown.
Could I see if I can figure out if the robe is anything magic-y?
Can I also make an Arcana check?
I believe it's a spellcraft check.
Yeah, spellcraft to ID, but I think you need to be detecting magic, maybe?
Oh.
Yes. Do you have detect magic, Jim?
No, I don't think so.
Right,
Not as a
back in
spell.
1 second.
Dispel magic.
Detect magic's a 0 level spell.
Is it in the cleric list? Because it probably.
I mean, we can just take it home for now, and I can brew up the thingy of identify after we've had a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I will say that you're able to work out what this is, Jim. This is a robe of bones.
Uh-huh.
The embroideries that are sewn throughout this robe, you can know that they actually represent undead creatures. And similar to a robe of useful items, you're able to basically pull the embroidery out and create
Bones.
create the creature that's embroidered it.
Huh. I think Jen probably looks out with a bit of disgust. It creates unliving.
Wow, that's incredibly cursed.
Yeah. Personally, I'd rather dispose of that, but
Yeah, I think we should burn that.
I am inclined to agree, actually.
I
Unless
mean, could probably get money for it. I mean,
I
put that
would
out there.
feel comfortable selling that and having it out in the world in someone else's. That's incredible.
yeah, anybody that wants to buy that would really make my hair stand on end.
Fair enough.
I'm not. I don't. As long as it's safe to burn it, I'm happy with it being burnt. Like, I don't want it exploding if we... Maybe we should take it back to some sort of settlement, find some sort of controlled way of removing it.
I'll say you're pretty sure. You'll be able to destroy it by just holding it and asking for Asma.
Okay. Then I will do that.
Okay.
Pharasma, unweave this vile creation.
Jin holds up the robe, and as he speaks his prayer, its holy symbol glows, and golden light weaves its way through each of the embroidered figures. There are 6 overall. And then so slowly these figures show through: a human, a horse, a wolf, a goblin, a human, an ogre. And then almost instantly, this silvery golden flame rushes through the entire robe and incinerates it.
Good fire.
And there is nothing left of it.
I'm sorry, Gore. We will get you a less cursed cloak.
The pieces of amber that you found don't appear to be magical in any way, but they do look like they might be valuable. Okay. On this grove, it certainly looks like anything else that was living in this area would be prey to the scythe tree. So what would you like to do now?
I think the plan is to return to the Dryad and inform them everything's done.
Okay. Let's
Where's the
move you
rope
back
to?
over to the map.
Should Gore put on the robe as a fashion accessory, or should Gore not put the robe on?
We burnt it. It was super cursed. Sorry. We'll get you a better one that's not cursed.
Badly cursed.
Jin examined it, found out it was full of necromancy, and incinerated it with divine fire.
Noted.
Jin, not a fan of necromancy.
The chunks of amber that you found don't appear to have any magical properties, but are probably valuable. So making your way back to the oak glade, you can hear Teresia's voice speaking in that wavy, windy, wood-like language all the way through. And as you return, you can see Teresia appears to be casting a spell over the city of Falkos.
Should we have brought like a bit of tree to prove kill?
I thought we had it, but
And Teresia looks back and says, "The trees told me as soon as it happened. I can't express to you how grateful we are. Thank you.
Just point at Gore as like, he did like most of it.
And then this one sets it on fire.
You were right, it did burn.
I'm not sure what we start rooting through. First herself, and then looking inside the tree. And then pulls out a wand. And says, "Here, maybe you can make use of this if the tree hurt you, or if later on."
That's very kind of you.
Are you sure you don't need it?
Now that the tree's dead, we have time on our side. I'm a druid, and we were just stocking up in case we had to defend the tree. I have some feather tokens, maybe scrolls, maybe. I don't know what do you like?
Staying alive mainly, but
I mostly liked setting Evil Tree on fire. I'm quite happy as is, to be honest.
Oh well, take this at least. I can't let you go away with nothing. She holds out the wand.
thank you. I'll take the wand.
What that one do?
These are common enough items that you'll be able to recognize it instantly. It's a wand of cure light wounds.
Ooh.
Which has it has 26 charges.
You don't even need me to come out with this anymore, basically.
So the wand, if you know the spell, you can cast it. Otherwise, there is a check to try to use it. She uses up a charge and casts cure light wounds.
Somebody want to take that because there's no point in me having it. Maybe if I fall over, somebody can use it.
I can take it. I'm
You want to
passable
use
with
it,
magic items.
I know the spell, but almost never use it because there's more fun things to use spells on.
It doesn't work that way with alchemists, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, Corey will probably have it then.
I mean, you can say because I'm in the same boat of I have it in my formula book, but doesn't work. Doesn't work that way for us. I've got ranks in use magic device. I mean, I'm happy to split use of this between me and Jin because it's a good backup so that you're not always having to prepare. I mean, you don't have to prepare kill light wounds, but it's less of a tax on your resources as well.
True. You hold it for now, and then if needs be, I'll grab it off you.
Sure.
Shall we all make sure that whoever is carrying it declares which pocket they've put it in to the rest of the group so that if we need to rifle through your dead body and find it, we can? Or, unconscious.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, if Jin's on the ground and I'm nearby and I know where the wand is, I can use it.
Yeah, we'll keep it visible for.
So
Okay.
I've got that on my sheet now.
Cool.
That is very handy. Good wand.
So the Terrestrial and Falcos talk to each other briefly in that wood-like language, and there's another sound that sounds like a rock falling into a lake. That sounds familiar, but you can't quite place it. And you're able to take a breather here, perhaps some small talk, because now is a good time for our lunch break. So looking at the time, I think so we'll break for 15 minutes, get some time to buy a break, get some water, eat some food, all that good stuff, and we'll come back just after 1:45.
Cool.
Sound good.
Lovely. I will see you all later on.
Bye.
Right.
Ooh. Making the so far terrible idea of having the peri peri pot noodle flavor today. It's spicy.
Oh dear.
Hello, I am here. I am also still eating noodles, so I'm not back on camera just yet.
You're gonna have to put up with me and my cream cheese bagel.
Bagel. Your joke of a Buddhist monk walks into a bagel shop and says, "Hey, can you make me one with everything?"
I've heard a different one where it's the Dalai Lama in a pizza place, and an Australian, like somebody on like some Australian chat show had the Dalai Lama as a guest and tried to do that joke on him, and the Dalai Lama just sat there looking utterly confused, like, what?
Oh no.
Here's the thing, though. Knowing that man's sense of humor, he was probably winding the guy up.
Those are the best times. Ooh. So while we're kind of easing back into things, there is a chance to chat to Teresti and Falcos if you'd like.
I know I should. My brain can't think of what to talk to them about. That's the only problem.
I'd probably ask them because obviously, because of the issue we had earlier with the lumberjacks and the naiad, Nixie.
It was Nixie, wasn't it? Yeah.
Nixie, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to ask them which other sort of like nature connected fae they know about, so we know which areas to respect and avoid in terms of like infrastructure and
They'll have a think.
cool. Because obviously, in the same way that we didn't want lumberjacks going through the Nixie pond, I don't particularly want lumberjacks coming here and chopping down her tree either. I think that would be badness.
So through a brief conversation, you know that a lot of the fae here don't seem to like. A few have like a tree or a pond or something like that that they kind of attach themselves to, but there aren't that many of them. Fae tend to get bored of the material world quite quickly, because it doesn't move nearly as much as the first world does. So they kind of cross back and forth, and they will mention that they were expecting more Fae to be here than there were, but they describe it as a sense of like something's about to happen, and they don't know what, but it's like something big's going to happen soon. There's that kind of air to things, and a lot of the Fae that are here are either have decided, I'm going to make sure that my tree, my pond, is fine through it, or they're waiting to see what happens.
And everyone else has run away.
Yeah, for the most part, it's very natural for Fae to kind of cross back and forth on a regular basis. If the border between the material world and the first world is thin enough, like it is here, they'll kind of just wander back and forth.
Cool.
They're aware of some pranksters that live somewhere southwest, but their attention's been focused on the scythe tree, so they haven't had chance to explore.
They've not really met the neighbours.
Not especially. They so they met. They know people like Meliance, like the old beldame, from being here a long time. They tend to have, like, when it comes to things like groves, they have special magical markings that will say, you know, this belongs to such and such. It's how they know not to tread on each other's toes.
So they do have boundaries, they just don't tell us about them.
Not in the sense that you'd understand them. So not in terms of, like, clear lines. Just
Yeah.
like, I don't like the vibe of this place.
I mean, what I'm thinking is if they're able to define their territory by vibe check, it should be possible for them to put like visible markers
It would be very handy if they did.
because
Yeah.
acting with humans.
Dresden says, "I guess we could." In the tone of voice that implies she really doesn't want to.
I know it may seem a chore, but we've already had settlers wanting to live in the territory of the Dryad and nearly came to blows, and we're seeking to prevent any sort of unnecessary violence in the area.
Yes. The problem is if the humans don't know what's already claimed, how can they recognize that they shouldn't come here? Because they can't feel your claim the way you can feel one another's.
Oh, how terrible for you.
Yes.
No, this is all new to us. All this lines drawn on maps.
Yes.
Isn't it enough just to find your own place?
But they can't tell that they think they have found their own place. They can't tell that you were here first.
Well, then
Because
well done.
that's exactly what I'm suggesting, is let them know in a way that they can see and hear before it comes to conflict.
Not that all humans will immediately want conflict, but some will be. If they know they're entering the territory of another, they're less likely to be hostile if they're suddenly surprised by you there.
If we make out all the markers, then we're only going to have to update them again in 100 years when a new group of people come over.
100 years seems like a very different amount of time to you than it does to us, doesn't it? I'm not saying you have to. I'm just suggesting a way in which you could make your own life easier. Whether you choose to do it or not is up to you.
Perhaps if you put them out this time, and then if any humans or settlers do come to the area, you can ask them to renew the boundaries.
Yes, make it their problem.
We did try that once, but You people have no connection to each other. I can make an agreement with you, but there's no guarantee that the next group of people are going to honor that.
That is true.
And
I'm
then
not
you'll
really sure
die
what we
and get
about.
replaced. We'll have to do this whole thing over again. Every single time, forever and ever and ever. That sounds really dull.
It's just a suggestion. There are lots of things that I don't like to do because they're really, really dull. Like brushing my teeth and taking notes of my spells, but I do them because they're good for me in the long run.
That sounds really boring.
This world is really boring. If you're gonna cross over from the first world to this one, to an extent, you are going to need to make certain concessions to the fact that you're living in a different plane of existence and things work slightly differently here.
I don't like that.
You don't have to like it. It's like if I travel halfway across the world to a whole different continent and I try to pay for things with my money, they're going to look at it and they're going to say, "The hell is this?"
What's money?
Oh dear. Never mind. I'm done trying to be sensible for the day. This is someone else's job.
Money is a way that the settlers will use as a trade substitute.
Do you not just make what you need?
Sometimes, but if somebody can't make what they need, they trade money for somebody who can make what they need.
So you sometimes trade with the old Beldane. You said that. The thing is, when you've got big lots of humans all in a group together, let's say I've got chickens and I need new clothes. But the person who makes new clothes doesn't need chickens, they need milk. It all gets very complicated very quickly if you're trying to do direct trade of thing for thing, because you might not have the thing that the other person needs. But if you trade for a shared resource that everyone agrees means the same thing, then it's basically a central middleman who accepts all the trades and then does all the trades, except it's not a person, it's just a pile of metal.
Dryad looks blankly at you. This is why I get the Beldame to do all this trade stuff. She just asks us for things.
Okay,
You
never
wanting
mind.
to handle you lot. This all sounds very confusing.
It is, it's awful.
Well, then change it.
I like it.
Anyway, we've probably kept you here long enough. It's probably been 2 years at least.
It's not been that.
Oh.
Thank you for your time, and thank you again for the wand. Please have a think and consider marking physically the borders of your territory so that the settlers can perceive them. It would, I'm sure, as much as you find things tedious, dealing with wandering settlers would be very boring for you as well.
One thing
We'll
to
see
consider.
what we can do.
One thing to consider. If it is a hassle to redo your markings for the next group of people who settle here, if you help look after and defend the people who settle here, then you're less likely to have to deal with a new group of people. Because then they will have children, and their children will have children, and you can stay friends and look after them, and you don't need to deal with a new group of people. Just a thought.
Brescia gets a sympathetic look to her and says, "You're not the first people to come here. And every time things have happened and they've left or they died."
Yeah, people do that.
Oh, well.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Or shrugs, picks up his backpack, and gets ready to head off.
Yes. Now that I've been confronted with my own mortality for the afternoon, I'm quite ready to go somewhere else, thanks.
Okay. Where to, adventurers?
Somewhere less sad.
I'm not sure I can guide you there. You might have to find your own way.
Oh no. Beans.
Where to?
I mean, the hook tongue is right there. We could just travel west till we like. Unless
Yeah.
anything else we need to do, we can just go to the hook tongue and explore that area.
Hot tongue. Sounds like an idea.
Okay. Are you heading due west?
Yes.
Okay. So making your way back through the marches without Teresia's help, the way through is not treacherous per se. It's just the little annoyances that you didn't really notice until they were gone crop back up again. You know, undergrowth you need to clear through, things like that. You do spot southeast of you as you're making your way along the ruins of a castle. It looks like old architecture, whatever it is, but without getting closer, you wouldn't be able to tell much about it. Apart from it's old and it looks abandoned.
Maybe mark it on the map and we can explore it on the way back through.
On it.
Where's the ruined castle, sorry?
Over here.
This one, okay.
Are you pressing on?
Yeah.
Cool. So you start crossing through to where the marshes in this area. It's always been a bit damp, a bit squelchy, a bit fetid. But as the trees start thinning out, and the roots that are kind of holding things together start to fade away, you start getting that pretty miserable wet mud that starts to really slow down your pace.
Right.
With Mara, the mud's starting to get to the point where it's like up to her upper thighs.
I look sadly at Gore and ask if I can be carried.
Gore will pick Mara up, put Mara on his shoulders,
Thanks.
which is okay. It was either here or the bag of holding. Suspect this to be better for you.
sounds very yuck.
And as you start crossing over into this region, you start seeing various footprints and tracks that are left in the mud and filled up with stagnant water, but are all kind of literally dwarfed by some sets of massive footprints.
How massive footprints.
Like bigger than Gore's footprints, massive.
Significantly.
And are we talking footprints, or
They seem to be bare feet.
With like toes and things. Giant.
what sort of size are we talking? Is it possible to like extrapolate from the length and like the length of the foot, depth of the imprint, even like this? Is there like an obvious is there an obvious trail? Is there like a tread to follow?
These are giants.
They are giants. Okay. Any way of telling what type of giants?
Difficult to tell just from a footprint, but
Sure.
there are specifically marsh giants as like a subspecies.
Noted.
What's the terrain like ahead of us? Is it like flat swamp, or is there trees in it, or?
At this point, it's mostly like small streams of water and then mud.
So like flat for miles, or is there like inclines? Basically, looking around and see if I can see a giant walking around is what I want to do.
None that you can see. There's like clumps of vegetation. The land sometimes like rises and falls. So there's no like obvious immediate signs of them being around.
Would I have any idea of like how easy it is to like be diplomatic with giants, or have I met any giants in like the army days, or?
Give me a knowledge nature check.
This is a flat roll, so 15.
The only giant is the one that lady was fighting in a magic circle.
On the one hand, they are intelligent to a certain degree, but on the other hand, they consider anything smaller than them as food. So they're not likely to take you seriously, as they would probably just try and eat you, and only consider other options if you're able to show you're a threat.
So what you're telling me is, I give Gore an enlarged potion.
I still think they'll be bigger than me.
Beans.
It's a good idea, but unfortunately, giants will also see anything the same size as them as a threat, which means they'll fight it.
Do we feel capable of taking on a giant or giants right now?
There we go.
One of the like if the four of us against one, maybe.
Get that healing one ready.
Yeah, why not? Screw it. If I get eaten,
Obviously,
I get.
from what you know, Coriol, the four of you against one would be a tough fight.
Yeah.
But you don't know how many there are.
My big problem is I kind of wasted most of my get hench on the tree.
So we're
Yeah.
not at optimal capacity right now.
No, I'd say not.
Do we need to come back here another day when we're more experienced? Before
What
we
was the
check?
reason you were coming to the slough in the
I
first place?
can't for the life of me remember what it was. I knew we were coming this direction. I can't remember. Was it to check for bandits or something?
Something like, because there was something
Bandits
in,
operating out of this area, or
yeah. We had, yeah, bandits operating in this area. People that had fled the service of, had fled after the Stag Lord was felled.
Probably got eaten by giants then.
Maybe, maybe, unless. I mean, it is entirely feasible that somebody could not so much cow a tribe of giants, but could possibly like placate them in a way, like by basically just being like, "Hey, I can get you a steady supply of food. I can provide you with plenty of food, and if you act as well, they could be acting as like watchdogs."
my thoughts. This: do we want to stay at the tree line? Head. Let me get this right. Like sort of this direction, and then either head further south or circle back at this point and maybe go via the ruined castle. Because Coriol, would you go running into the marsh when there's the possibility of staying in the tree line?
No.
I vote we go anywhere that there is less mud than this.
I mean, we could just go straight to the castle.
There is, but my thoughts are if there's bandits, they're going to stay near the tree line.
I'm thinking if we have like take a couple of days and try and scout the area out and at least map it, something, so we know what's in this area.
I think we should do some more mapping. We've not mapped things for a while.
But I'm just feeling if we sort of look at this area here, right? We've got a very nice sort of safe corridor from Shrike Wall to Hookton.
Let's do some mapping.
Yeah, seems sensible.
Yeah.
I don't know how to take that drawing off the map now. Sorry. Like that. I asked the DM nicely.
Yeah, the ground here looks horrendous, especially for something like camping.
I don't.
If there are signs of civilization, you don't see them.
Okay. So can we map this? Can we map the area we're currently in then, Alex?
Yeah,
Yep.
you can spend the best part of a day going around just checking the area. So you set up camp for the night, and
On the dry end.
the drier end. These are still marshes for the most part, but at least somewhere there's flat ground. Kind of overnight as you're setting up watch for the area, you do see a couple of
Yeah.
you do see a couple of large figures carrying trees like clubs, wandering around the area, a long way away, but big enough that even that distance away, you're able to spot them.
I hide.
But it doesn't look like they're too far away for them to have probably spotted you, and don't show any interest if they have. And you're able to rest.
Uh,
Let's just. You look through this reason, and you're pretty confident there's nothing here.
Okay. So the question is, do we want to go like this? Or do we just want to do sort of like this? And start heading backwards?
Yeah, zigzag. Let's make a safe, like safe transit region at the very least.
yeah, so
Cool.
this is the next.
Well, it's a goal actually suggest we go here next.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
We sort of do this.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, yeah. So double. I was just double checking. The each hex is 12 miles, which means like two hexes will take you a day or so just to travel through. If you're mapping them, that's an extra day on top.
So we pretty much finished the day getting to here at the minute because we came to two of them.
So we got here the other day. We camp overnight. We map the area, move to here, and then I guess basically we have to like camp down before we can start exploring again.
Yeah, it's pretty much the end of getting to the end of day 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I signed up to be an adventurer, nobody told me there'd be quite so much walking. This is what horses are for.
Good luck getting a horse through here. That's all I can say.
I know. I'm mad about it.
So you camp through the night here. It's you kind of you appreciate how comparatively nice the Null Marches are compared to Octong. You imagine the kind of people who could survive in a place like that, and it doesn't sound great. And you hear howling coming from the woods west of you.
Interesting. Okay, should we go up this way then?
We zig and we zag.
We zig and we zag.
Okay, so are you taking the time to map this area? Because you have been through it enough to backtrack if you need to.
Yeah, we're mapping.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is day 4. You go through this region. Again, you're pretty confident there's nothing of particular interest here. There's just the odd like signs of animals passing through. There's a very occasional mark that like someone's clearly left on one of the trees to like guide a path through. But you don't find anything of interest. And it gets into the evening by the time you've got through and you're pretty confident you've found everything.
Okay. Should we go explore the area around the ruined castle and go and take a look?
Okay, are you going through in the night or during the day?
Either a day.
Daytime.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. So this is a really clear landmark. Pretty much as soon as you come in of this this ruined castle with a tower on each of its four corners. Let's shift you over as you find yourself near the battlements.
If we're met by somebody with a very strange accent on the battlement,
A ruined keep looms out of the forest. Four circular towers sprout from the cracked walls. Twisting vines and thick moss cover the walls in a coat of verdant green, blending the ruins almost seamlessly into the surrounding woods. The overgrown remains of a path lead to an open, arched gateway gaping at the keep's eastern wall, its doors long since rotted away.
Cool. We'll go and up to the gates and have a look through the open gateway.
Okay, second. There it is. Okay, so there's no immediate signs of anyone being here. As you look through, these walls are built of solid stone. About you can see, judging from the portcullis leading in, that these are most likely about 5 foot thick.
Are we able to walk through this door, Mitsu? So I can't see through it. I can't see through this door currently.
I'm going to assign to anybody in the group that's looking at me bandit camp question mark.
Door is open. Portcullis is raised.
So I could just walk through it.
Yep. So stop as you get to that.
No. Oh no.
Cutscene.
Go, give me a reflex save, please.
Is this against a trap?
Yes.
Excellent. So I get +2 to this reflex saving throw. Anything else I need to worry about? Oh, that's a 7.
Oh no.
As you walk underneath the portcullis, you hear a click, and before you can react, the portcullis drops on top of you.
Ow.
You take 24 points of piercing damage. I'm going to give you the choice of forwards or backwards.
Backwards. I thought about it. I thought about it.
Yes, would you like to be on the other side of the portcullis, cut off from your party, or not?
Very funny.
Yeah, the the portcullis just slammed down on top of you, and you were able to just barely get up before it pinned you into the ground with a loud crash. You see a flock of birds that were nesting in some of the walls above shoot off.
So Gore, with an incredibly large stab wound in his right arm, sort of recoils from that, protests a little bit, and goes, "Okay, attempt to."
No. Don't go.
Wait.
Don't move. Please.
Now that it's activated, you can see that the portcullis was deliberately rigged to fall on the first person to cross underneath it.
I'm going to cast Cure Moderate Wounds on Gore. So this is 2d8.
It's already rolled for you. 14 points.
Oh, okay.
Gore would like to get into a lifting stance to try and lift up the portcullis.
At the risk of sounding like a wet blanket, do we want to have like a few moments where I can prep up and then go scouting?
Gore in the powerlifting stance just looks back at you.
I mean, if you want to lift it up, be my guest.
If you want to go looking inside once I lifted it up, you're more than welcome to, Goriel.
I was going to have a look around the walls, see if I could spot anything else, and then come back here and then try and have a mooch around inside. But I mean, how are we wanting to approach this? Everyone?
I'm confused because Gore set off this doorway, quite clearly bellowed in pain, and nothing has come to follow up on that as yet.
Maybe they're out?
Maybe they're out. Maybe they're watching.
If there's anything inside the keep, they would have heard that.
So they're either waiting for us to make a further move,
or there's nobody there. And they'll see if we do our usual tricks, which we'll not speak about out loud. They'll see us doing that.
likely.
Counter potential. I make myself even smaller and I just go through the portcullis.
Then you're on your own if anything happens.
Scrap that plan. Don't like that plan.
Goriel, if you want to go and take a look around, go and take a look around.
Yeah. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and prep up acute senses and heightened awareness.
I'm also going to cast guidance on him now. +1 to skill check or an attack roll.
Cool.
You want the visible or nah?
Think I'm good at the moment.
Cool.
Yeah, let's save invisibility for a time where it might actually be needed. I'm staying outside of the walls for now and just seeing if there's any areas that are collapsed or any sort of like windows or, like a better way of putting it, portholes to sort of glance into. Yeah. Gonna start off going this way.
Okay, so the outside of the walls themselves have I'm not sure what the specific term is for them, but basically they're designed so that people can be on top of them and they'll have cover.
Parapets. Murlons and embrasures.
And each of the towers on each corner, you can see arrow slits. Okay. Feel free to give me a perception check as you're going through.
Sure. Feels cheeky, but let's add on free inspiration.
You are very confident that the walls are not manned.
Okay.
You think if anything was there, you would have caught sight of them.
Right. Do you want me to? Well, I'm going to stealth anyway. Do you just want me to roll stealth as and when it's needed, or?
Do it wants to start off. We'll see how that goes.
I'm going to add some inspiration onto that. Not free inspiration, though. Okay, and keep just skirting the walls.
Okay. You can see as you go across, the southern wall appears to have been breached by something. It's broken to the stage where you could climb up it.
Any obvious signs what's caused this, or is there any hints or clues anywhere?
This is old enough architecture that any kind of damage is you're not certain about, except for the fact that something very big smashed in here a while ago.
Very big, okay. Not ominous in the slightest.
Like either a siege weapon or something like the size of a scythe tree. Like if you think that kind of 30-foot tall creature or a siege weapon, you think anything else wouldn't be able to break down a wall this thick.
Like a giant, maybe.
Okay. Keep skirting.
But there's no signs of intelligent life. There's plenty of signs of plant life.
When I get to the breach, do I spot anything there?
So you'd need to climb up to look inside.
Sure, cool.
So give me a climb check.
Oh no, I'm skirting around the walls first.
Okay.
So the west wall.
So there's a smaller breach in the western wall. Looks more like person width. Again, it's hard to tell the damage without like a background in specifically like so what do I want to call engineering. But
I do have knowledge engineering.
give me a check.
And free inspo.
Cool. So you recognize that this is ancient Elven construction.
Okay.
And it's if you're familiar with the historical event Earthfall, this predates that.
Pre-Earthfall. Okay.
So this keep is thousands of years old.
Okay.
It's unlikely that anything built like this would kind of deteriorate naturally. You can see that, plants have been growing on this place. Animals have been living here for thousands of years, and it's only caused minor damage. So something clearly smashed through the breaches in the walls.
Okay.
But there's no recent signs of damage.
Aside from that massive breach on the south, you'd say that is
Yeah,
that like
again,
the most
that's a similar one where it's like that damage is probably hundreds of years old.
And I'll skirt around the north wall.
Give me a perception check going towards this one.
Okay. Free inspo.
You hear the sound of plants moving in this tower.
Of what?
Plants moving.
Plants moving. Okay. I'm going to keep scooting on back around.
And then another perception check around the northeastern tower, please.
Free inspo.
Again, from inside, you can hear the sounds of lots of small things moving. So that kind of constant rummaging noises.
Like almost like an insect hive, kind of a constant sort of scuttly buzz.
Closer to rats than insects.
Okay, sure. Hey everyone.
Hello. Alex, while he was doing that, can I have a look at the... Can I see the mechanism of the trap from where we are?
Now that it's been triggered, yes, it's easy to see.
Can I have a look at it, see how, if it's like worn away or if it's like newish made or...
So the mechanism of it is as ancient as the rest of the structure. This is old metal. It looks like it was tinkered with recently, comparatively. There's like a section of it that's been cleaned off, and it's been set up to deliberately crash down on the first thing that crosses past it. You think there's a decent chance that it might do that occasionally on its own, in which case it would need to be reset.
Did you find anything, Coriel? Another way in?
Yeah, so there's a couple of breaches in the walls. They're not anything recent, so I don't think this place has actually been inhabited by any sentient species for a while. This place is thousands of years old, though. Like this is not a time has happened and worn everything away. Like this place is built to last. This is pre-Earthfall. So southern wall, very large breach. We will have to clamber over rubble to get in there. West wall, there's a smaller breach, similar sort of thing. On the north, while walking around the north wall, I did hear the sound of things like being mobile inside, but it sounded like either sort of plants moving, for lack of a better way of putting it, or rats or something. So, yeah. Looks uninhabited otherwise, though.
Okay, Maul, if we're going in, we should be careful. But which way do you recommend is probably the easiest way of getting in? Sorry, which way do you recommend is the safer way of getting in?
GM, what are we saying there? Is which would be the easiest way which would be the safest, which one is the best of both.
So the without specialist equipment, so like a grappling hook, climbing equipment, your best chances are trying to lift the portcullis, which is very heavy, or going through one of the breaches in the wall, which you will need to climb to get up them, and it will be not hugely difficult, but not straightforward either.
So Gore will say he has a climbing kit that he can pull out of the backpack. But I reckon can probably lift the I reckon I can lift this.
I'm not the best climber, so if we can get in under the portcullis, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll say it's for Gore, it is tough but doable.
Mara, do you happen to have any more of those strength elixirs lying around?
Yes, I can get you one of them. I'll chuck Gore a bull strength, and then I'll set to brewing a replacement.
I'll say now, like, obviously, if we head in here and it does turn out there's something occupying that then decides it wants to eat our skin or wear us like hats, whatever, we need to make sure that we can clamber over those breaches, because I think they're going to be our way out rather than wait for Gore to pick up the portcullis again.
Understandable.
Okay. Gore will get into a sensible lifting position. Grip with 2 hands, will rage and then lift.
Okay, so this will be a strength check. One other person can help as well.
Can I cast guidance on Gore?
I think that will work.
So I'm going to spend a few minutes
It's
brewing up extracts with Mara.
I am not a strong person, so I don't mind trying to help, but I think Jen would be more likely to get in the way.
There's a 21.
You grab underneath it, you pull upwards, you push the portcullis up maybe a foot or so, and then you have to drop it. It's too heavy.
Do we have something really quickly we can put underneath it? We can maybe crawl underneath it when it's up?
You think you got close, Gore, but
Let me give it one more try.
So, sorry, just to check the rules thing, I need to roll a DC and hit above 10 or something to help him, or is it?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would also do a strength check, and if you get a certain amount, you would add a bonus.
Sure. This is a -1 to strength, but I will try and help Gore with this. Hopefully that helps.
That should be enough. Give me a second.
And I'll recast guidance on him as well before I do that.
Yes, you get a +2 bonus on this score.
Okay.
Plus guidance.
So guidance plus. Let's give it a go. I am going to spend one of our rerolls and reroll that because that's rubbish. Oh no.
I think he's killed something.
Gore just puts him back out.
As you're lifting up, the wound from the portcullis falling on you the first time flares up, and you like involuntarily drop the portcullis back down again. It makes a loud crashing noise every time.
Right, shall we go clamber over the walls?
Yeah,
Or the breach in the
I think
walls,
that
at
might be
least.
better.
Thanks, Gopher. Thanks for trying, honestly.
You did good.
I'm thinking if either myself or Gore clambers over with a rope or something to try and help anyone else. But I mean, we're not. It's not like we're climbing a sheer cliff or anything. It's just it's going to be something that we have to sort of clamber over to get in. So
I'm a decent climber.
I am not.
Gore kind of sitting down, sort of catching his breath and clutching his wound, also point to his bag and go, Coriol, fifth big pocket, right hand side. There should be a kit in there and some rope.
Courier will give him a friendly and encouraging sort of kind of clap on the shoulder, like, "Come on, buddy, you got this."
Gore winces.
Not the shoulder.
It's okay to show weakness.
So we on the
Big
other
boys
side,
can cry too. Oh,
on the other side of the castle now.
Follow me. Oh yeah, I will grab the climbing kit out of Gore's pack.
Look. Okay, so the kit gives you a +2 bonus to climb checks.
Mhm.
So who is going up first?
I think I'm a pretty abysmal climber, so how about I go up first and then you have the wand if anything goes horribly wrong.
Do you want the climbing kit?
Yeah, probably best.
I'll give Jin the climb kit.
Cool. Do you want me to make a climb roll or?
Yes, please.
Okay,
First
so
order of climbing. Worst climber goes first. Best climber goes at the bottom.
cool. So with the climbing kit, there's a +2 bonus, so my -5 becomes a -3 instead. I
Finding
will
an
cast,
armor is hard.
and I will cast guidance to make that a -2. Oh my god.
No.
Odds or evens, Stuart?
Sorry.
Odds or evens?
Odds, please.
Okay. You start to make your way up, and then one of the rocks that you thought was secure isn't. And it slips out from your grasp and you slide back down.
Oh wow, I was expecting damage on top of that.
Nothing was injured but your pride.
Well, there's very little of that to injure, so you know.
perhaps I should go up first and then throw down a rope and pull you up, Jin.
That sounds far more dignified. Yeah, sure.
You're much lighter than a portcullis.
Yeah, true.
Depends how much plate he's got on.
I mean,
Okay. I'm gonna try and climb. I'm gonna try and climb up.
Look it up.
again, I'll give Gore guidance as he's doing this.
Check, please.
28.
You are easily able to scale up. It's about 15 foot, give or take, of miscellaneous like rubble, and then some of the bottom section of the wall is still intact. So you're able to clamber up on top of it. You can see the expanse of this courtyard out in front of you, which is covered in plant life. And then there's a large central tower in the middle. You don't see any signs of life.
Right.
apart from obviously all of the plants.
So Gaul then throw down a rope to Jin. And then we'll attempt to pull him up.
Do I need to make any sort of roll for this?
I'm going to drop the DC of it
Okay.
and let you have your bonuses from your climbing kit.
Okay, so climbing kit and guidance myself makes this -2 to the roll. Oh my god, 0.
That's a 5. I'm sorry.
Let me just let's just see how much strength I'm adding into this.
Nope.
Wow, that's a terrible roll.
I'll just stay on this side of the castle. You guys go explore. If you get a boo-boo, come back and...
No! You are getting up that wall. Go again.
Yeah, there's a moment where you stumble and Gore has to take on your full weight, armor and all, in order to not to crash down. But I will say, eventually, between the two of you, you're able to pull yourself up, kind of. But the exertion of it, the exertion of like pulling yourself up in this is like some I don't know exactly, but like several dozen kilos of weight on you, leave you fatigued when you reach the top.
Sure. Is that some sort of penalty to checks or anything, or?
It is a -2 penalty to your strength and dexterity, and you cannot charge.
Fun fact, if you go up to the bit where it says buffs and conditions underneath the Pathfinder logo on your character sheet, click on it. You can even tick a box labeled fatigue, and it will apply all the penalties.
Yep, there we go.
It is. That's a very. I discovered that in one of my other games, and I was like, "This is so useful."
So penalty to your strength and dexterity. You cannot run or charge. Anything that would cause you to become fatigued instead makes you exhausted.
Cool. Will a lesser restoration fix that?
Yes.
Cool.
Is in fact one of the things it does.
Nice. I'll maybe save the spell slot for a bit in case we really need it. But
okay, who's next to climb?
I'll start scrambling up. Is there still the rope there?
Yep.
Yeah. There's the rope. Is the rope just lowering the DC?
Lies, it's not. It's covered in butter.
I'm going to spend a point of panache to have some daring do. 5. Oh boy.
Is this actually rope or is it a cheese string that's been from the back of?
This isn't a wall. It's Satan incarnate.
This is the hardest thing we've encountered in age.
So, getting up onto the wall looks really good. It's the down part that your luck starts running out. As the section on top of the wall that you're on, as you pose with panache, your foot goes through a rock and you tumble out onto the other side. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage from hitting the ground hard.
Sure.
Let's go, I guess.
All to play
Stand
for.
up. Stand up.
The bar is so high right now.
Stand up, dust myself off, and like you saw nothing, and just walk off.
I think Jen's eyes have been closed since he got to the top of this.
Just enough.
It's just garbage rolls all round.
Oh dear. Never let bad rolls stop you from telling a good story.
I'm like, this is getting close to Critical Role Campaign 1 and The Door.
Oh, I remember the door.
Ladies, gentlemen, variations thereupon. Congratulations, you have defeated the 15-foot high wall.
Yeah. Wait, 15
But
feet.
it's a lot for me.
Hang on. 15 feet tall. Are you telling me this wall is only 15 feet tall?
The wall itself is 30 foot tall. This broken section of it is 15 feet.
I can standing jump this.
Well, you made it up okay, so it's not an issue for you.
You are able to make it onto the other side.
This is decided. This is while after Coriel got over and was waiting for everything to finish. I know. Oh, I know. I already prepared it. That's cool. I was going to prepare a jump extract, but I've already done that. I can do that for the next one.
A graceful tower rises out of the keep's central courtyard, now overgrown with bushes, undergrowth, and several sizable trees. Like the outer walls, the tower is draped with vines and several small plants have taken up residence, ledges and cracks along its sides.
Cool, let's do a swoop around.
So for reference, all of this courtyard is difficult terrain. Which means moving through it is twice as hard as it normally is.
So I'm now moving at 10 feet around.
Do we want good old perception buff for everybody?
I think, given the way our luck has just played out, I think that would be wise.
Cool. Yes. So Coriel's going to bring his canteen round, take one of his extracts off his belt, drink it, then concentrate on the canteen and basically turn all of the water inside into average quality mead with the added benefit of
It is deeply, magically all right, I guess.
so that's +2 bonus to every wisdom or intelligence based check for everybody.
Speaking of which, give me a perception check once you're all settled inside.
That's a 25 with the benefit of wine to mead.
So bear with me.
31.
Oops, wrong one. Perception and free inspo. Nice.
So Gore, Mara, and Coriel can hear a voice coming from the northeastern tower.
Biscuits.
Sounds like it's singing.
Oh no. When you hear people singing in old, abandoned, overgrown towers, it's one of two things. It's either a crazy person or a mind altering effect. I like neither.
We should go check it out then.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'm just going to Just gonna do a quick roll real quick. Don't mind me. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Say northeastern tower, yeah?
Why is that me specifically?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm worrying about it.
Hey, Mara. Any chance you brewed up an invisibility infusion? It's fine. I think Gore's already like, no, Gore's can't. I'll let Gore do Gore.
I will actually do a sensible thing and put my sort of ear to the door and have a listen. Yeah, take
Did you
that.
So did the portcullis hit you on the head? Did it knock some sense into Gore?
I would like to cast Detect Undead.
Okay. Your eyes gain this pallid glow to them. And you look around and you can say with reasonable confidence there are no undead in the surroundings.
I would like to, knowing that we are approaching a castle, and castles tend to have wibbly things, detect secret doors.
Okay. You have a look around, and you are confident that there is no door here that has been hidden from you.
Not here. Maybe elsewhere. In this spoopy castle.
It's the northeast. This one. The northeast tower is open to the sky, its roof and interior levels having fallen away long ago. Gore pressing your ear to the door. You can hear rustling, rumbling sounds.
But no singing?
Not anymore.
Mm.
Could we decipher any of the song, like when we heard it? Or sorry, it was only those two heard it, wasn't it?
There weren't any words to it.
Just somebody vocalizing.
Just a tune.
Gore will very gingerly sort of like push the door open.
Do you want me to check it for traps first?
Too late!
Gore's like, okay. His hand literally inches from the door handle.
I will check it for traps. So that's a 37 if it is a trap.
Okay.
But I will add some inspiration to that just in case it's a really high one.
So you're confident there's no traps here. This door looks like it's been opened a fair few times. You do catch a glint of the metal of the handle, and it's the reflection of some magical lights coming from behind you.
Like directly behind it, like here?
It seems to be shining from inside the central tower. It just happened to catch Coriel's eye.
I'm going to take 2 seconds to go and just sort of glimpse inside the tower.
You have been handed an invisibility.
I have been handed. Okay, I am going to go invisible then. The router running the entire way.
I bet he's in a ritter running. I have that feeling he's.
There we go. My excellent art skills have detected that there is a tiny orb of light floating in the center of the tower.
Okay. So that singing that we were hearing, is it definitely coming from the northeast tower, or does it now sound like it's coming from that central tower?
Now that you mentioned it, the orb makes a kind of soft, jingling, squeaky noise.
Is the orb kind of stationary, or is it drifting around, or is it making like purposeful movements?
Kind of just bobbing around and making enticing, jingly noises.
Was the play Coriel?
The singing's coming from the central tower, not that tower. That tower, people have been in and out of that tower, but the music's coming from there. I will have gone back over. The music's coming from there. There's some sort of light drifting around, and it seems to be coming from that. And it feels like it's meant to be enticing us.
Like some sort of wisp or something.
What light? There's no light coming out of there.
Did we hear that voice, or was it the enemy?
When you look back at the central tower, there's no light shining out of it anymore.
This place is very freaky.
Oh, we're here. Let's open this door. Go
Sure.
open the door.
Okay. I swear there's a button to handle doors, but I'm not proficient enough to know how to use them.
Before we go through the door, can I cast Bless on everybody so they get +1 morale bonus and on attack rolls and on saving throws against fear effects?
Sure. So, opening the door, Gore, you find a rat. Isn't that adorable? Little cute little rat. And then more of them. And then more of them. And more of them. And more of them. And they form to two swarms and rush out the door.
Oh dear,
Lot of rat.
that's a lot of rat. Do we roll initiative?
Yes, please.
Oh dear. Oh, that's a big rat. Oh no.
These aren't big rats. These are swarms of regular-sized rats.
I still am under my heightened awareness, so I'm going to dispel that to get a +4 on the
Do not like that.
initiative check.
Okay, so keep in mind of the time. We would normally wrap up at past. If that's an issue, James, we can pause here and then come back to it at this. Basically, start the next session with the rat encounter. I will leave that in your hands because I can save things as they are.
I think Sir James temporarily disappeared somewhere.
No.
Okay, we'll go on for now, and I'll if James needs to head off, I can pop it go. For my own nefarious purposes.
If that is okay, Alex. Core's actions are pretty straightforward normally. It is standstill and full round attack.
Okay. The rats form into two discrete swarms and both rush over and across you.
Oh, I don't like my positioning right now.
Nope.
Oriel appears to escape the worst of it, as the rats cannot see him.
Right, they're not sniffing me out.
However, everyone else takes. I need everyone to make 2 fortitude saves, please.
Well,
Just roll garbage, apparently.
I'm rolling all over the place, apparently.
Okay. So, everyone takes 8 points of piercing damage, apart from Coriel. And Mara and Jin, you're pretty sure one of those bites is infected.
Cool. Sorry, how many points of piercing damage?
8.
8.
Add destruction. There we go. And then I need another 2 fortitude saves from you, please.
What?
Yes, everyone except Coriel.
Blimey.
Okay. Mara and Gore are both nauseated. Nauseated. Nauseated creatures are unable to attack, cast spells, concentrate on spells, or do anything else requiring attention. The only action such a character can take is a single move action.
Oh no.
Oh, I hope Lesser Restoration does cures that.
Well,
Drink
the
potion?
issue is you can't cast spells while nauseated.
I'm okay though.
Oh, good point. Yes. So
Well, you're
lesser
telling me
restoration wouldn't.
drink an
boost
extract.
it would.
Sorry, both of you talking at the same time. Lesser Restoration.
Lesser restoration doesn't. There's a specific spell, remove sickness, that does. Ariel, your friends are accosted by rats. There's so many of them.
How do swarms work in this? Do I know whether or not weapons are going to be any use, or
So
so?
when it
Obviously, I
comes
know
to
in previous different games, it's like melee weapons and that don't really do much.
when it comes to swarms, it's more a case of you can stab into a swarm of them, probably kill quite a few of them. It's just that there are so many of them that it wouldn't be hugely effective. It'll work. You will do damage to them. It's just whether it's enough damage for it to matter. In rules terms, they take half damage from weapon attacks.
Okay, cool. So studied combat on this one. I'm gonna go here and just give it a poke. See see if I can at least try and whittle its numbers down. While I do that, I'm going to be saying like, Mara, bombs now.
No.
Okay. You do get a few of them. Maybe about a quarter of them.
I'm off to bounce, everybody. Thank you very much for the game.
No worries.
No worries, gents. We'll see you next time.
See you all later. Bye.
Oh, let me get a light on. Because I'm getting uncomfortable. So yes, you take out maybe a quarter of that swarm.
Cool. No longer invisible.
Okay, over to Jin.
So, can I move here without actually taking any parting blows or anything like that?
Yeah, swarms don't have opportunity attacks.
Okay. Basically, what I'm wondering is, can I take one of the bombs off Mara and try and myself to eat it? Because no, it has to be Mara.
They can only be used by the alchemist. Like the alchemist has to infuse a spark of power into them to actually make them go boom.
Okay. In that case, I'm so good at combat, so you know. I'm going to try by casting sun metal on my mace, so it bursts into flames.
Yep.
And try hitting him with that while fatigued. So that's going to be fun.
So your action is casting the spell.
Oh yeah.
So from next round onwards, you'll be able to swing with it. But it does ignite. The rats don't seem to like it.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
That's me.
Mara, you are nauseated.
Yeah, I would like to be far away from this because there's absolutely nothing of value I can contribute right now.
So
Oh
this
wait,
is difficult terrain from the
difficult
plant
terrain.
life, just to warn you. But
That's
you're able to
what
move.
I get then. Do I get to repeat my save or anything like that, or is this just my life now?
The end of your turn.
This is the end of my turn.
Yep.
Are they still under the effects of Bless? Does Bless not add to saving
Not
throws? +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and on saving throws against. Oh no, it's fear. Sorry, right? Yes.
Yeah, against fear. So yeah, the nausea clears up at the end of your turn.
Okay.
It clears up automatically, or I need to resave.
Automatically.
Oh, cool. I'm still staying far away from this. And the next turn I can actually be of use. Yay!
So Gora's going to work on attempting to intimidate these rats as his action. He makes an intimidate check. It's not going to be great. Good enough. He has spooked these rats successfully. They are shaken. Speaking of which, so this group of rats is going to head towards Jin, but not move towards Gore. And then this one's going to go over.
Rude! Very rude!
So everyone takes 6 points of piercing damage. And then I'll need fortitude saves from everyone, please.
Just the one.
So Mara and Jin, just the one for you.
Me.
Are you kidding me? How does everyone feel about a reroll on that? because
I'd go for it because I think we're going to need your bombs, to be honest.
Given that I think you're going to be the most effective in this fight, yes, reroll.
I'm calling in a reroll. And I continue to be cursed.
That's enough.
Oh, thank God. I was about to say, unless this effect counts as poison, in which case add a +4 to all my rolls.
Sadly, no.
No.
These
Oh,
are
no.
these are filthy, horrid rats. You're saving against disease. Okay, back over to Coriel.
Step there and stibbity stabbity.
Don't forget your bless.
That'll do it. So is the 19 the crit damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I regain that panache point I spent with my daring don't.
Do I round up or down? I always forget.
I think generally it's down in.
It's usually down unless explicitly stated otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, you take out. You think there's probably maybe a third of this swarm. As you're able to skewer through quite a few of them. Jin.
Little else I can probably do, like stepping away from the swarm. So I'm just going to have to make an attack roll against the swarm and hope my mace hits them. So, was it 21 hit?
That hits.
Cool. Then it does 1d6 minus 2, and then I will have to get the fire. I think it's 1d4. I will double check that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 1d4. Let's see.
So the mace hit kind of as you'd expected. It's more just a case of the just sheer volume of them. But the fire seems to work quite effectively against them.
Cool.
They're
That's
still
my turn.
standing now. Mara, it's your turn. Swarms don't have opportunity attacks.
Cool. I would like to step back to here. And I would like to throw a bomb at this swarm. Coriel will be caught in the splash, but courtesy of the grandmother spice, he will not take splash damage. He will get fire belly instead.
Nice.
Yep.
Please don't roll pants. Roll pants.
Okay, they will all take splash damage though. See. What's the DC of the reflex save?
16.
Okay. You take out a few of them even with the bomb missing, and the rats let out terrified squeaks. Anything else?
Yeah, no, that's me.
Okay. Cool, we'll go for a full attack on these. Go with power attack.
Nice, nice.
So that is 10 plus 8, 18. Bite. Okay, with great cleaving strikes, Gore is able to slice through enough of these rats that it starts dispersing the swarm, leaving only a few left. The Gore then picks up and crunches in his mouth.
Gore, no.
Though they are so diseased. I would not eat that.
Gore, spit it out.
Drop it.
Drop it. It's like, drop it.
Leaf.
No, this is very utilitarian. This is not like bite to eat. It's just kill, throw with his mouth.
Yeah, that is not sanitary.
Last one. Swoosh. Rushes over all of you.
Fortitude
Please
save,
make
then?
a fortitude save.
Finally, a decent roll.
Is that 4 damage then?
Yeah, 4 points piercing damage from the bites.
Hurt. I'm very hurt.
And Coriel and Jin are both nauseated this round.
Cool.
Speaking of which, Coriel, what's the plan?
Stand there dry heaving.
Swans are bad. Flares up at the end of your turn. Jin, you are also nauseated this round. You can take a move action, but not much else.
Yeah, I'll just 5, 10.
Okay, clears up at the end of your turn. Mara,
Let's try that whole bomb thing again. Yeet.
that yeet roll.
Better.
Shoo. You now no longer need to worry about what barbecued rat smells like. As the last of the swarm, most of them die, some skitter off in various directions and run away.
Hey, Jin, can you take a look at this rat bite? I think there's something
yes.
very wrong with it.
I'm going to pull out the wand that the Dryad gave us and dose myself up on it.
Okay. I want to try and identify what's happened. I will need heal checks.
Okay.
This is a pretty common disease called filth fever.
It'll take me a night to get Pharasma to send me the appropriate prayer, but I can deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah,
What's it do?
it's not lethal. You know that much. It's just a painful experience for the next few days if it's not treated.
There'll be discomfort. Like,
Um,
literally, give me a sleep.
Okay. Inside the tower, there's just remains, mostly just bones at this stage. The rats seem to have gotten through to everything else. And once more, the courtyard falls quiet.
Can we determine whether they're like human bones or elf bones or?
Humanoid, you can tell. But that's you can see that clearly the rats would just swarm over anything that got close to them. So people were probably throwing things out from outside and have been doing for a while. Okay, so that is a good point for us to end the session for now.
Thanks, I hate it.
the twin powers of the 15-foot pile of rubble and rats.
Goodness
once again
knows it's
showing that they are the bane of adventurers everywhere.
Swarms, man.
Swarms are deadly if you're not prepared for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes even if you are.
I'm always prepared for swarms. The problem is when I can't do anything.
So we're going to wrap things up for now. I'll tally up things that we found. It's going to be a little bit easier to.
I really hope we get a lot of XP out of that wall.
And then we'll be continuing on in January of next year to finish off exploring the keep, and hopefully that's the last of the bad things that will happen in this keep. They say, appearing
Doubt.
as the GM layer and cackling. Second Saturday is going to be the 13th of January, but obviously I'm going to confirm that because I don't know if people know, but there's a couple of holidays between now and then. So I'll work those out, and then we can advertise once we're ready for the session in 2024. So for now, I wanted to say thank you very much for my players for suffering alongside. Always a good time. And thank you to anyone who's watching along either on Twitch or later on YouTube when videos are uploaded. I do appreciate people tuning in and giving donations, even if I don't quite have the attention span to manage both sets of cats to wrangle of players and chat. But I do appreciate it. I hope everyone has a good holiday season, and we'll be back bright and early at some point in January, hopefully, to get things running. But until then, thank you very much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.